Yahoo! Nice. Are we live? Sweet.
I don't know, maybe.
Greetings, everybody. It's so good to see everyone. Folks joining us from all over. We have folks from the UK. This is so exciting. Thank you guys so much for joining us today. Yahoo! We have folks from Germany. This is very cool. I'm so excited. Thank you guys so much for joining us. Thank you for Diane. This is a very fun hat. I'm enjoying it too. Craig will be joining us in just a few minutes. He's doing just some last minute touches and things like that. So I'm very excited. Oh, nice. Yes. I love seeing everybody. Thank you all so much for joining us today. This is just going to be just a fun day. We have some sort of little mini lessons that we're going to throw in as we take you through the different songs and things. Just because we can't help ourselves. We love to teach. Oops, I hit my microphone with my very tall hat. So sorry if you heard that loud bump. I'm so glad you're enjoying the spookiness behind me. Yes. Yay. So awesome seeing everybody. Oh, good. I'm glad everything is sounding nice. Fantastic. And thanks, Peter. I like this little spider. This is one of my favorite parts of the hat. Yeah, today we've got some very fun songs. If you haven't already downloaded your free packet, just go to our website, craigandsarah.com/live, and you'll see there's a form to fill out. If you're on our email list, I did already send out the notes to everybody saying that the packets were live. Check your spam folder or just go to the website because it's the same link whether you are doing, if you're from our mailing list or not. So just go ahead and fill out. There's a form you have to fill out and then it directs you to the site where you can download your free packet. So, awesome. I love seeing everybody's sweet comments in the chat. Thank you guys so much. And also, don't forget to make sure that you are looking at the live chat and not the top chat as you go through. Aww. Yay! Oh, I see Ukulele Project Hawaii, or Up Hawaii is here. Thank you so much for joining us today. This is awesome. I love it. Oh, hey, Doug. We miss visiting. That's one thing that we're really looking forward to. We'll see when it gets to happen. But we're really looking forward to getting to travel again and do some touring. I know that we're already having discussions about, a West Coast tour. So we'll see if that gets to come to fruition. I'm not sure if it can happen in 2022 yet. It might have to. Well, we'll see. It all, as everybody knows, if we are still in uncertain times, so it's hard to make plans. Yeah. Let's see. Oh, there is a question. Carol and Sarah, do your reentrant baritones made for a tenor fit baritone? No, they do not. So our Barry tenor strings is what you're referring to. So those are meant specifically for a tenor ukulele. The only reason why I say they don't fit baritone is we designed them for a smaller scale. So I would hate to have you string up your baritone and then the tension's so tight that it pulls your bridge off, because that's the fear. If you put on strings that aren't meant for that scale, because it's a couple more inches that you're asking the strings to, do for getting up to pitch. So just watch out for that, because but that's an excellent question. Thank you for asking that about the Barry tenor strings. Are there other questions while we're here during our lovely little sound check? And thank you for everybody complimenting my Halloween hat. Thank you guys. And also, since we are officially in sound check, make sure everybody can hear my instrument. Woohoo! And then So it looks like, yeah, everybody can hear. Fantastic. Thank you guys so much. And then let's see if there's any other questions. Great. I'm so glad that folks it was easy enough to get the PDFs. We tried to make it as easy as possible to make it so that you could just download it and you would have it and you'd be all set. So that's great. Will you make your CNSGH strings for baritone? You know what? So if you're actually wanting to have reentrant baritone strings on a baritone, what I recommend is send us a quick email, because there's other people that have done that. It's only been a handful. And what we do is we actually put you in contact with our contact at GHS so that they can make you that custom set, because they actually do have it, but you just have to talk to the right person, and we can get you in touch with that correct person. So just send us an email. I'm going to write our email in the chat real quick. So our email is gmazel@gmail.com. There it is in the chat. Fantastic. Yay. Yeah, so you can play the reentrant baritone strings on, or the reentrant baritone tuning, excuse me, on a baritone. And it sounds great. Benny Chong actually does that. So, excellent, Puffin Little. Definitely send us a question. Fantastic. Oh, hello. I see somebody saying hello from Wales and also other spots in the UK. Fantastic. Could we teach some blues lessons? You know what? That can be on our hit list. I think that's a great idea. Vincent, excellent question. Vincent, I just asked the question of Sarah, why do you use the titanium strings in your set, and why do you use the nylon for the high G set? So when we created those sets with GHS, I was actually still playing the low G uke. We hadn't done a lot of switching to the bari tenor set. That set came a little later. And for me, I really liked the feel of the titaniums. And then we used a fluorocarbon for the low G, where Craig preferred the feel of that ground nylon. We have discussed possibly switching out the titanium strings for the nylon, so that it's the only difference between the sets is that G string. But I think we need to sit and play them and do a little bit more before we actually pull the trigger and do something like that. But I really liked the smoothness of the titanium. The only issue that sometimes does crop up is that they are more sensitive to temperature change. So you do need to make sure you have to tune it more frequently, I find. But you know who turned us on to that set actually was actually Aldrin Guerrero, like the titanium strings themselves. I think it was Aldrin actually who turned us on to using the titanium strings, and I really liked them.
Yeah, we've and again, we always recommend going through your own string quest.
Yes.
And, finding your spirit string, so to speak. and the thing, let me I'll put myself up for a second. Let's see.
And can everybody hear Craig?
Hi everyone. The whole string not issue, but the whole string quest is really about finding what works not only for your feel and for your ear, but the same strings that you might fall in love with might not work on a different instrument as well that you have. So there's always all these variables that come into play.
Yeah.
So we always highly recommend, become friends with your local string dealer and try to get, as many string sets as you can possibly try, just so that you have something to compare to. You've always, been able to try as many as possible, and you're going to start finding what you like and what you enjoy. And then as you progress as an ukulele player, all of a sudden you might want a different sound. You might want something that gives you a different texture. And so again, it's a never-ending kind of
That's so true.
journey in many ways.
Yeah.
So for us, we spent over a year kind of working on our string sets with GHS, and even then I think if we were to go back and dial things in even more and look at more of the options that we can have them do, we actually might create like a version 2 of them soon, just to give a little bit of difference but have something similar. So there's we're just lucky. I feel we're very lucky at this point in time where we have these amazing amount of choices. Back in the day we had like just, oh yeah, the black strings.
Right.
And that was it.
Yes.
So it is really nice to have these options and whatnot. But
Yeah. So right now, somebody had said, Craig, that you sound like you might not be feeling 100%. It's allergies. Both Craig and I have been sneezing a lot. There's something blooming here. And then, of course, all day yesterday, there was like yard men who are cutting stuff and just putting stuff in the air. So it's just, yeah. So it's allergy time for us here in Hawaii. That could be a song. So, but
Yeah.
thank you for asking. That's very sweet.
Now I do have something special to share, and I might share it at the end again, as we get more stragglers coming in. But we, as Sarah mentioned, I think, people have been asking us, what are we doing for the new year? What are some of the projects we've been doing or thinking of? And we're trying to think. One, do we have time to push out? And, so
Yeah.
we're going to try our best to keep the live streams going once a month.
Yes.
But we have a new series of things that we're going to introduce right now that we're extremely excited about. Some of you guys who follow us on social media might have an idea, but this is the first time we're going to announce this new series. So I'm going to play that for you now. We'll be right back in about a minute and a half.
Ooh.
All right, here, let's see if this works.
Aloha, I'm Sarah Maisel, and Craig Chi and I have been live streaming for several years. One of the questions that we frequently get asked are, when will you start a concert series? Well, the time has come, and we are thrilled to invite you to our backyard to enjoy hearing some of the most amazing musicians and friends right in our backyard. Our backyard concert series is one that we are truly excited about, and our very first one is going to be with Herb Ota Jr. Now, this inaugural concert is going to be a fundraiser to allow us to get this series off of the ground. Something that is very near and dear to Craig and I's hearts is ensuring that everybody gets a chance to hear this amazing music. And because of this, we are trying to make it so that all of the rest of the concerts are going to be free to the public, with some add-ons that you can always purchase if you would like to support the artists as well as the series. We would like to say a huge thank you to Lele Music Productions, Artist Works, and our dear friends at the Ukulele site for helping us make this very first concert possible. But I'm not afraid, this road was crossed over. We hope you enjoy this series, and we look forward to sharing even more amazing artists with you. I can't help falling in love with you.
Take away her. Yay! So, we're gonna start a new concert series, and we want to. One of my big projects that I've always thought about, even when I was still in San Diego and even Oregon, in that sense, was, I couldn't believe how lucky I was coming from Hawaii, and being able to do these ukulele festivals, these events. And I knew there's so much talent here in Hawaii, and one of the things that was always so important to me was somehow to able to showcase these incredible musicians that don't get a chance to travel as much as we do, and get exposed to the incredible ukulele community out there. So, Herb agreed to help raise funds for our very first concert series to help fund the rest of this project. Andrew Katakis and the Ukulele site helped sponsor this first festival as well. So thank to all of them so much. And we're calling this the month of Herb.
Yes, it's so true.
to celebrate his new award-winning double disc CD.
Yes.
So not only did we have Herb, join us for that first concert in that series, but we're gonna have a special exclusive live stream with him tomorrow with our artist work students. So make sure you guys check the forums for that if you guys are
our artist work students. Yeah, because we have this. I think the Zoom link is already prepared and everything. We did that when we first put it, so that's all there. But we'll also make another note in the shout box too for you guys, so that you don't miss Herb. Seeing him tomorrow.
Yes, and
same bat time, same bat channel.
Yep, Saturday is gonna be that's not on YouTube, it's on Zoom.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
But
sorry, not the
next
same
Saturday, we're gonna host Herb teaching using the song "Something," which is gonna be a lot of fun. So that's gonna be same time next week here.
Yes.
What else is going on?
And then the concert, as you saw, is going to go live for you to be able to purchase and watch it. And with that, there's going to be some add-ons. Just again, since it is a fundraiser, there'll be some fun add-ons that you can have when you do your purchase for that concert, and that we're just really excited about. There'll be more details soon. Just if you're not already on our mailing list, join our mailing list, and we'll make sure that you get all of the announcements once all that's up and running.
Oh, Diana Lini, hello. Neil Chin, hello.
Neil Chin.
Everyone, oh my God, it's so great to see you guys.
One person said, "Your neighbors are so lucky." It's like, yes, and we're hoping that we actually get to have for our next one a small studio audience, is what I jokingly call it. But I think we're going to actually have a couple of the neighbors over so that we can have an audience. But yeah, we're very lucky that is our backyard.
Oh, the Welshies.
Yes.
Oh, good to see everyone. Sarah, Bree. Yeah, Herb is really funny. He might not show it ever, but he's a really funny guy.
Well, you'll see. So the way that we film and the way that we filmed this concert series is we did as much of it as we could. It's all like one take stuff. We just set up the cameras and just went for it. I think the only time we have cuts is when we had to do some instrument changes. But everything else, it's like you get all of the hilarity of us talking to each other and going, "Oh wow, we made it through that song!" Like we left all that in for you.
It's like a live concert.
It's like a live concert. We just cut out the whole here's your instrument, that kind of awkwardness.
Well, and this way too, we can I love live streams. But it's also nice to have an edited 4K video to publish, right? It's always really nice. Diane knows. Oh my gosh. All right, so we can always chat in between songs.
Yes.
If you haven't already, please go to craigandsarah.com/live to download your very free packet for all of the song arrangements that we are going through. I'll show it on screen as well. Let me pull what that looks like. Let's do that.
Yes.
So it's going to look just like that.
Yahoo! Except we need to be on page 1.
There we go.
Ooh. I'm very proud of our costumes. In that, so proud. Whoops.
I just love how Nancy was able to recreate our custom kind of ukuleles in the logos itself. That's so cool.
And there are folks from all over the world here today. Thank you guys so much for joining us.
Yes.
I see Spain, Czechoslovakia, UK, Japan, which I know it's early in the morning, so thank you so much for joining us.
Yeah, so today is going to be a little bit different in our typical workshop format. Again, this is more of a jam, and we're going to do some teaching, but it's just going to be a lot of fun. And again, we hope you share these arrangements with your
clubs,
with your youth clubs, and with your groups that you've been working on. And what I am really interested in too is that I know a lot of you are so dang creative. I know that you guys haven't been sitting still during this pandemic. You guys have been working hard, working on things. I would love to hear about any projects you guys might be working on, let us know. Let us know. We'd love to hear what you guys are up to.
Yes. And we also have somebody from Serbia. I wanted to make sure I said the correct country. Serbia. Oh my gosh. Thank you so much for joining us today. All right. Our very first song, I wanted to start us off kind of easy. So we're going to start off with The Monster Mash. I will go ahead and warn you ahead of time that I will probably flub the lyrics on multiple occasions. But I will do my absolute best. Now with this song, the whole 99% of this song is going to be the doo-wop progression, and with every chord being played for 8 beats each. And so you'll see at the top, that's why under the C chord we have 8, because you play that 8 times. The A minor is 8 times, the F is 8 times, and the G7 is 8 times. Okay? There's only one spot, and it's on the first page, that is in red. And that part is the only weird section where it just changes form for a second, and then the rest of it is just going back and doing the doo-wop progression with 8 beats each. So for that red section, that's the part that's the zombies were having fun. Wah, tennis shoe, wah. So okay, it says tennis shoe. When I went to look up the words, it said tennis shoe. We listened to it, and I want you to listen to the song and email us what you think they're saying, because it totally sounds like tennis shoe. So I left it in there for fun, okay? Then, I might have to take off my hat. I keep hitting the mic with my really giant hat. So I'm sorry if you keep hearing a as my hat hits the mic. Okay, so anyway, the zombies were having fun. Wah-oo, tennis shoe. The party had just begun. Tennis shoe. The guests included Wolfman, G7, Dracula, and his son. So that's that section. So let's give it a try and see what happens. And Craig is going to pull out the bass. Oh, and thank you everybody for the compliments on my album. I thought this nice, even though it's a Hawaii print, I thought it was a good color scheme for today. Let's get our C ready, and remember it's 8 beats each. Let me think about the song real quick. Yeah, I think that kind of sweet. 1, 2, 3, 4. C, A minor. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I was working in the lab late one night when my eyes beheld an eerie sight. For my monster from his slab began to rise, and suddenly, to my surprise, he did the mash. He did the monster mash. It was a graveyard smash. He did the mash. It's caught on in a flash. He did the mash. He did the monster mash. Second verse. From his laboratory in the castle east to the master bedroom with a vampire's feast. The ghouls all came from their humble abodes to get a jolt from my electrodes. They did the mash. They did the monster mash. The monster mash. It was a graveyard smash. They did the mash. It caught on in a flash. They did the mash. They did the monster mash. Now the red part, F, the zombies were having fun. Tennis shoe, wow, party had just begun. Tennis shoe, wow, guests included Wolfman, Dracula, and his son. The scene was rockin', all were digging the sounds. Igor on the chains, backed by his baying hounds. The coffin bangers were about to arrive with their vocal group, the Crypt Keeper 5. They did the mash, did the monster mash, the monster mash. It was a graveyard smash. They did the mash. It caught on in a flash. They did the mash. They played the monster mash. Out of his coffin, Drac's voice did ring. Seems he was troubled by just one thing. He opened the lid, shook his fist and said, "Whatever happened to my Transylvania twist?" It's the mash. It is the monster mash. The monster mash. It was a graveyard smash. They did the mash. It's caught on in a flash, it did the mash. It's now the Monster Mash. Now everything's cool, Drax a part of the band, and my Monster Mash is a hit of the land. For you, the living, this mash was meant to. When you get to my door, tell 'em Boris sent you. They call the mash. You do the Monster Mash, the Monster Mash, and do the Graveyard Smash. We did the mash. You cut on a flash, then you did the mash. You can do the Monster Mash with the C, A minor, and F, G7. Let's do it one more time with this progression. Wah, wah, ooh. Monster Mash, wah, ooh. Monster Mash, wah, ooh. Monster Mash, wow. We'll end on C. And then C. Nice! You know, one thing I like about Halloween and doing these Halloween jams is you get to be real silly. It's really fun. Oh, I love it. You know, there's all these subtleties in the chorus that change. I never get them right. And it's okay. It doesn't really matter, because I doubt that even if we were all hanging out together in the same room, we'd probably all do some of those fun things. But yes, I'm so glad that, oh, funny. I love everyone's comments. Yay. Thank you, guys. I'm glad people enjoyed the voices. I always said that if I had known as a child that you could be a voice actor, that's probably what I would have done, actually. Because I've always loved doing silly voices and all of that fun stuff. Nice. So next up, let's do Black Magic Woman. Now this one, there's actually like a full-on intro for it. And we decided to kind of skip that for this. Where you have that bow, wow, wow, where Carlos Santana sounds amazing. So I think we're just going to go with that plan and just continue to skip that intro. If you're wanting to play it, and if you have a pen and paper handy, you can also rewatch this and write down the things that I'm saying. But a lot of times what you'll hear is the D minor, A minor, no, sorry, it stays on D minor. So D minor, a bunch of D minor, again D minor, bunch of D minor, and then it goes to the A minor, or just stay D minor, A minor, then to D again, D minor, then A minor, and then D minor, and then it starts in with the song, but it's an instrumental at first when you hear this tune. What we're going to do is actually just go through the song form. What I did was I actually posted a box chart at the top so that you actually know how many beats things are. Because that's one of the things that has always been a struggle for me with some of the like lyric sheets that are listed below, is that you don't always know how long things last. So for our intro, I'm going to be an electric guitar with my voice and do some fun stuff. Or maybe I'll whistle. We'll see if my whistler is warmed up today. And we'll just go through and play that box chart as our intro. So you'll notice that there's the D minor is highlighted, and then you'll notice the word woman is highlighted. That's actually when that measure begins. Got a Black Magic is actually a pickup from the measure prior. Okay, get your D minors ready. Let me think of the 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, sorry, now we're starting. D minor, the first one. A minor. Back to D minor. Go to G minor. G minor goes to D minor. A7 sneaks in and D minor again. Here we go. Got a black magic woman. Got a black magic woman. I've got a black magic woman. Got me me so blind I can't see that she's a black magic woman. She's trying to make the devil out of me. A little low. Don't turn your back on me, baby. Don't turn your back on me, baby. Yes, don't turn your back on me, baby. Stop messing around with your tricks. Don't turn your back on me, baby. You just might pick up my magic sticks. And there's usually a solo here, so here we go. D minor. A minor. D minor. Lots of it till you hit G minor. Then D minor comes back around. A7 shows up and takes you back to D minor. Last verse. Got your spell on me, baby. Got your spell on me, baby. Yes, you got your spell on me, baby. Turn my heart into stone. Oh no. D minor. I need you so bad, magic woman. A7, I just can't leave you alone. Let's do that verse again. Got your spell on me, baby. Got your spell on me, baby. Yes, you got your spell on me, baby. Turning my heart into stone. Oh, I need you so bad, magic woman. I just can't leave you alone. D minor, A7. I just can't leave you, D minor, alone. Woo! Now this one you could end it a variety of ways. I chose to just end it by going back to A7 and D minor, which is going to the 5 in this minor key, the 5-1. You could always do the I need you so badly, da dee da do da da da, and repeat that back to the I need you so badly, A7, D minor. You could also do that as well. It's totally up to you. How fun is this song? I like that people are enjoying the my chord call out scatting. Now, if I remember correctly, this is actually in the key that the song is recorded in. If I remember right. You guys can double check me on that, but I actually think it is. This next song is not in the original key. We actually moved it. The original key for our next song, Spooky, at least the recording of Classic 4, is in F minor. But I decided to not make everybody learn those chords because I thought that the E minor was a little easier. So this one, I wanted to just show you what the pattern is that most of the song typically is. Part of, I think, what makes that Classic 5 recording so iconic is this pattern. And it's super difficult to sing and play at the same time. So you'll notice that I actually can't really do it very well. So if you're wanting to focus and really just play the pattern, don't try to sing it. And if you want to really sing it, don't worry about playing the pattern. But let's go through so that you can practice and you can totally play this pattern later if you want. So our chords are the main progression, or this main pattern happens only during the E minor 7 and A7. And you have 4 beats of E minor 7 and 4 beats of A7. I have it broken down into eighth notes, which is why you see 1 plus or 1 and, 2 and, 3 and, 4 and. I like doing the downs and ups, writing above the 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and, because now when people say down, down, up, up, down, 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 that at least gives you an idea of like possibly where within the beat falls. Because I feel that it's the down, down, up, down strum doesn't really tell you much unless you like learn in that manner. So this, at least when you go back to look at this notebook a month from now, you'll be able to recreate this without even having to listen to me. So Here we have the E minor 7, which is just open 2, open 2, and the A7, which is pretty easy. A7 like that, right? Now going through this, I'm going to play it for you. You have 1, and I'm going to have this hand move the whole time, so it's a metronome. So I have 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. It repeats, and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 again, repeat, and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2, 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and again, 1 again. Right? It's not too bad if you aren't trying to sing lyrics over it. The thing that makes this, thanks Craig, that was great for doing the close-up. So the thing that makes this, part of what makes it feel so good is that a syncopation. You aren't playing on the first beat. Now Craig, our bass player, will play our first beat for us, which is fantastic. And then, oh, and somebody just asked the question. Sorry, I got distracted by the question of, oh, I see that you're holding E minor 7 with your middle finger and your ring finger instead of maybe doing it with your index and your middle. So for me, yeah, it is so that I can go back and forth between the E minor 7 and the A7 pretty easy. I could also keep my index back there and just lift up too. I could just do this, so then it's and I just leave that down. I actually don't need to pick it up, right? So there's that, and depending, we say this during a lot of our live streams, never be married to how you learned the chords, because there might be a more efficient way depending on what chord comes before or after. But thank you for, Carol, thank you for noticing that I did that.
I'm going to do one quick addition to that too.
Do it!
So one of the reasons why you see a lot of us play even that D7, the 2020, with the mid-on ring, is that typically whenever you need to bring your index finger over for, like, let's say an A minor, the tendency is that finger wants to kind of collapse and hit all those strings, and you end up getting a muffled A string. So what happens if, when you use your middle finger instead, you see how I can point my index up, and what that allows me to do, even if it's not straight up but just kind of curled up like this, that natural curl that happens from here means that none of this will ever touch the A string on accident. So when I have my middle finger, whether it's an A minor, it ensures I can get that A as clean as possible, and I don't feel like I have to stretch all the way over with my index as well. So the middle finger and the ring finger for the D7 or even the E minor, same thing, where I can keep the kind of fatty part of my index there from touching the corner of the A string. So that's why you'll see a lot of us, it's almost like playing an E7, right? And I can just stick my finger up, and that's my E minor 7. Yeah. And I can bring that up one string and my D7 there. So that's why even for like an F major 7 up here, you'll see a lot of us use our mid-on ring for 5, 5, 0, 0. And I can stick my index out, so there's no chance at all for it to hit that A string, to have that really clean look. And compared to, again, trying to do it with the index and middle, but again, there will be some times where, depending on the stretch or something that's coming in before and after, like Sarah said, you might need to change. Yeah. But that's the kind of general rule of thumb on that for me, at least.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry.
No, don't apologize. I love taking little moments in our jams to be like, let me show you this cool thing.
Oh, Petey's here. Great to see you.
Yahoo! Now, looking at our song, one thing I wanted to say about the strum patterns is you don't actually have to use the ups and downs. I just lightly touched on that before we played through. So now what I mean is, like, I don't care if you play ups on your ands. Like, you could do all downs for all I care, as long as you get the timing right. So as long as you do 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3. That was all downs again. And 2 and 3. Sorry, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 4. Or I could pluck all the strings. It doesn't really matter. Or I could do all ups if I preferred how that sounded. So you also don't need to be married to the downs and ups that I presented. It's just handy for being able to break down a strum pattern so that you can remember it later and know where within the beat things fall. So let's actually look at the song. So what I did here, because the song isn't really a ton of chords, I think it's just 3 chords the whole time. I've actually given you 2 different positions you may choose to play this song in. You can play it in the first position chords, which I have for you there. You have E minor 7, A7, and then the B flat diminished 7 is just, it looks like A7 with the friend. Like, it's super easy. And then the other chords, if you want, would you mind doing a close-up, Craig? The other chords, if you wanted to do on that 3rd fret, so it's 4, 4, 3, 5. Scoot your pinky down in pitch for that A9 if you wanted. It's kind of spooky sounding. And then the diminished chord is just moving 2 fingers to be 3, 4, 3, 4. So if I'm holding the A9, notice how I lift 2 fingers and just swap them like that. If you want, you could actually move this middle finger down like that, right? But not everybody, you kind of end up collapsing your knuckle a little bit, and if you're very arthritic, that might be painful for you. So just watch out for that, because I do have you can see how that finger's at a weird angle, my index. But if I'm only playing it for a minute, I kind of you can just do that movement. If you're going from that A7 to B flat diminished 7, which we do actually on the, and then you stop and say, all right, that is for that area. So that's the 2nd position chords. Choose your poison, and let's go through it. And I will not be playing the strumming pattern the whole time, because I have difficulty singing and playing it at the same time. So let's go through, gang. We're just gonna do the E minor A7 as our intro. So get your E minor 7 of your choice ready. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 again. E minor, A7, some more. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2, 3 again. See, I did messed up. Here we go. In the cool of the evening, when everything is getting kind of groovy, I call you up and I ask if you'd like to see a movie. First you say no, you got some plans for the night, and then you stop 2, 3, 4 and say, all right. Love is kinda crazy with a spooky little girl like you. 2nd verse. You always keep me guessing, and I never seem to know what you are thinking. If a fella looks at you and you're for sure your little eye will be a winking. I get confused 'cause I don't know where I stand, and then you smile 2, 3, 4 and hold my hand. Love is kinda crazy with a spooky little girl like you. Next verse. If you decide someday to stop this little game that you are playing, I'm gonna tell you that all the things my heart's been dying to be saying. Just like the ghost, you better haunt my dreams. So I'll propose 2, 3, 4 on Halloween. Love is kinda crazy with A7. Whoa, whoa. Spooky. Whoa. I want to do that last verse one more time. Here we go. If you decide someday to stop this little game that you are playing, I'm gonna tell you that all the things my heart's been dying to be saying. Just like a ghost, you better haunt my dreams. So I'll propose 2, 3, 4 on Halloween. Love is kinda crazy with a spooky little girl like you. Spooky minor, A7. One last time. And we'll leave it on that dominant 7 to make it like spooky and like, ah. Yeah, I like it. That's awesome. Yahoo, everybody. Nice job. So hopefully some of you guys were able to play and strum that pattern at the same time better than I did. But I like it. Nice. I love it. So somebody just said that instead of the A7, they'll play F sharp minor. So you could do that. You could do that. I mean, it sounds fine. I do try to simplify stuff whenever I'm doing these kinds of jams, but I love it. I love it. Nice. Yeah, that is a spooky sound, isn't it? Sweet.
Well, what's actually fun is that pattern is super like, once you get the groove going, like, and it's harder because it is slow. Like, could you like actually play that a little bit faster and see how like just between the 2 chords, just to showcase what that really feels like.
And 4, 1, 3, 4, 1.
So it is one of those things where it is a little trickier, harder.
It's hard, slow.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nice work, everybody. All right. Okay. Next up is, I think, one of the hardest chord songs we have. I did my best to simplify it as much as possible. So that's why I have these extra notes here. So in this song, it's a jazz standard. Frank Sinatra is, I think, the one who really made this song famous. And I remember the first time I actually heard this song was from Who Framed Roger Rabbit. There's a point when the actor pulls out a sword because he's fighting the bad guy, and he pulls out a sword, and the sword sings this song, and I didn't realize it at the time because I was, 8 or something, but it was, Frank Sinatra as the sword singing. And so I thought that was really funny. Somebody says that they're having trouble hearing your mic. Did you get muted at all at any point, Craig? Or is it still the same?
My mic or the bass?
Sorry, I can't hear Craig's uke.
I'm actually on bass, so if you can you guys hear the bass?
Can you hear the bass? Can you guys hear the bass? I hope so.
Hopefully it's not too distracting.
Let us know if you're having trouble hearing the bass. And you can hear my uke? Should be. Somebody said uke. Oh, bass. I can hear somebody says they can hear it.
Yeah, I'm actually on bass today.
So depending on your device, what device you're watching us on, some speakers it's actually harder to hear the bass. So just FYI.
Yeah, if you're on like a
cell phone or an iPad, it might be harder to hear the bass because they don't have very good woofers. Do they even have woofers in a iPad? I don't know, but
nice.
Yeah.
Well, Black Friday's coming up. If you need a new bass,
Oh,
subwoofer.
Yes, yes. So, okay, so Witchcraft. What we've got going on here is
Awesome. Yay.
you'll see that I simplified the song when we go to scroll forward. So if you see a D minor, for example, or a G7, you could always play the chords that are next to it. You could always play D minor. So I have D minor here and G7. And I could always play D minor 7 and then scoot my pinky down for G9. That should remind you of the song we just played where I had you doing that, but on the 3rd fret instead of the 1st fret area. It's the same pattern. So I love it. So that's something you could add to this song if you would like. So anytime there is D minor, make it minor 7, or any minor chord for that matter. You could make it a minor 7, and any dominant chord like G7, you can make it a 9 if you want. Underneath, you'll see that there's an area that's F major. If I have a major chord, I could make it a major 7 or a major 6. Those two always sound really, really nice. Now, can we do a close-up of my hand? So looking at just your F chord, standard F chord, I could play F major 7 where I'm adding my ring finger to the 3rd fret of the A string, and then my pinky reaches over to that C string on the 4th fret. Well, I shouldn't say nobody. Many people hate playing this chord. It's actually quite difficult. I like the voicing. I think it's really pretty. There's another one that you'll see that's also in blue. If you skip F6, you'll see another F major 7. That's me just showing you it's a second one you could use where my middle finger is on the G string on the 5th fret, and then I just add my ring next to it. That's another simpler F major 7 that I could use.
I think it's prettier sounding too.
It depends on its function for me.
That's true.
If I'm if I'm doing regular comping, I don't like this chord as much. If I'm ending a song, I love this chord. So again, though, they're both correct. So it doesn't really matter which one you use. Now, you could play F6, which is this chord I skipped in our little major section, which is if I just take these 2 fingers, scoot them down, and it looks like D minor 7. Okay? Then, instead of F minor, I could play F minor 7, which is just adding a friend to the 3rd fret of my C string. F minor 6, sometimes you see it written as a bar. That's why you see those little extra dots that aren't colored. But if you're going from F minor 7 to F minor 6, you could just do this, and it's a 1-finger movement. Though when you see it written, a lot of times you see them doing this with a bar. But again, where you just move that 1 finger. Also, Nell said for F major 7, could I play this one? 5, 5, 5, 7. Absolutely, you can. This is another place you could play F major 7 if you wanted. These examples I'm showing you are just saying, hey, you can play major 7s instead. Now, one thing in our song is we do go from F to F minor. Can we close up one more time? So going from F to F minor, I recommend, if your fingers will allow, take this finger and scoot it down and add your pinky instead of swapping like this. So doing F, and if you want, you can actually have this note down, and then you just scoot down. F to F minor, or F to F minor. Okay? It's a short period of time that you do that, so I wouldn't worry too much doing the swap. But if you're more comfortable doing the finger swap, you certainly can.
Yeah, I like the swap. It's easier for me to swap than
than to
squish
do the
them down.
acrobatics.
Yeah, I like the swap, well, especially with the pinky down, right? It's nice and having the leverage there. Yeah.
So the next thing I want to point out is I have a walk down happening. Now on the paper you'll see that we've got E minor, and then there's a yellow dot. What we're doing here is we're making that yellow dot move down in pitch, okay? So you'll notice that E minor 7 that I have drawn looks like a G chord. Well, it could be G, depending on your context. The context, I want us to think of it as E minor 7. If you want, you can get rid of this note here and actually get rid of that G because you actually have it. We're redundant in that sense. But Craig will be playing bass, and he will be playing the note that we're moving. So that's part of why it's going to sound minor and it won't sound like G. But let's go through it real quick. So you have E minor. I want us to take that C string and move it down in pitch. That's that E minor major 7, fancy name. make what looks like a G chord for your E minor 7. Again, that C note is, their C string is the one we're moving. And then move down in pitch with your index to the first fret for E minor 6. So again, I've got E minor, major 7. I actually do a finger swap for that minor 7, and then I scoot down that note. Okay, it's a little tricky, but the beautiful thing is that you've got 4 beats of all of those chords to play, so you have some time to get there. So I think it's a really pretty one, and the thing that you'll find in your uke journey is many chords look alike, and then they'll have different names, and it's all about context, what chord came before and after it, that tells you its real name, and also, of course, your bass player. He's going to be the one that's going to make it sound either major or minor or whatever it is.
Now, one really quick thing on that one too. So for me, I do the swap a little bit earlier when I do a walkdown in this kind of range. Where we have the E minor, I will actually flip these two guys to get that E flatted. Because this is, I could hold this all day. That's such an easy shape, right? And then I switch these two guys for my G, and then just bring that index down. But yeah, for me that's just a little bit easier. And talk about acrobatics too. This is like a little bit different too in the sense of like, yeah. So again, tons of different ways to do these things.
Yep.
For me, because my fingers are a little bit larger, when I squish down like this, that it just feels so uncomfortable for me. So I'm always looking at how I can kind of flip some of my fingers to make it a little bit easier for me. Again, it's nice that we have this kind
different
of
ways
difference.
of doing it. There's more than one way, and as one of my favorite players of ukulele says, you need to be able to play your chords 4 different ways, depending on, or I say 4. I think he says a bunch of different ways. Like you should be able to play your C chord 4 different ways because you got 4 fingers, depending on where you're going and where you're coming from. So let's flip up to Witchcraft, excuse me, and actually try to play through it. What we're gonna do is we're gonna play through the whole song, and then we're gonna play through it a second time. And I'll have us do a D minor G7 tag thing when we go to repeat it. I'll call it out. I'm sure we'll be fine. Here we go. Let's hold a C major 7 for a while. Let's let everybody kind of get adjusted. And just, real quick, E flat diminished 7 isn't too terrible. That's just the 2nd and 3rd frets. That's that 2nd chord. And then also the E flat that we're using, it's the 2nd to last chord on the top line. Open 3, 3, 1. That's not terrible. You've got that open string there. The F sharp minor 7 flat 5 has a terrifying name. It's really not that bad. I am barring the 2nd fret and then making what should remind you of, actually, it's like a D7 with a friend. Right? And then what I'm doing is an acrobatic move of just taking my ring finger and scooting it down in pitch to get to the B7 flat 9. Some people might go, ugh, I hate that. You can just swap everybody around and play that diminished shape, and that also works too.
Or we can we'll swivel off the index tip.
Yeah, your index is in the right place.
Yeah.
So there's that. I think that's the only sort of new tricky stuff in this song. So get your C major 7 ready. 1, 2, 3, 4, major 7. Let's stay on this for a while. Let's get into the groove. Yeah, I like it. Here we go. And a 1, 2, 3, 4. Those fingers in my hair. E flat diminished 7. That slight come hither stare. D minor. That strips my conscience bare. It's witchcraft. C7. Here we go, the F. And I've got no defense for it. Minor. The heat is too intense for it. E flat. What good would D7 common sense for it do? 'Cause it's witchcraft. although I know, get ready, here's the hard chords, it's simply taboo. Scoot down. Here's that walk down, E minor. When you arouse the need in me, my heart says yes, indeed in me, D minor. Proceed with what you're leading me to. G7 and major 7. It's such an ancient pitch, da-da-da, but one I wouldn't switch, da-da-da, 'cause there's no nicer witch than you. D minor for 2, G7 for 2, from the top. Those fingers in my hair, D flat, that's like I'm hither still, D minor, that strips my conscience bare, it's C major 7, C7, F, and I've got no defense for it. The heat is too intense for it. E flat, what good would common sense for it do? Here we go, it comes to C major 7, 'cause it's witchcraft. That cool, cool D minor witchcraft, G7. And although I know it's strictly taboo, and then B7 flat 9, the walk down E minor. And when you arouse the need in me, whoops, I messed up. My heart says yes, indeed, in me, D minor. Proceed with what you're leading me to. G7. It's such an ancient pitch, da-da-da, but one I wouldn't switch, D minor, because there's no nicer witch than you. D minor's coming round, here it is, 'cause there's no nicer witch than you. Yeah, I love it. What a fun song. One thing you could do that I probably should have told you earlier is if you didn't want to play the E minor walk down, you could play E minor the whole time and it would be okay. You would get all the nice crunching and stuff and it would sound lovely with us. So, food for thought that you
that
could.
was a lot of fun.
I like that
Oh,
song.
Liz. We miss San Diego. We hope you guys are doing well.
Ah.
Oh, we got a lot of great ukulele players in the chat today, too.
Yeah, thank you guys for
So good to
joining
see
us
you,
today.
Oh, my gosh.
And also, you'll notice, too, instead of a B flat, I have us playing a B flat 6, which I think is so much easier because it's one less finger, and it sounds fantastic. Woo-hoo. So, yay, we did it. Let's go to another fun song. This one I like because the original recording starts in the key of D. And it's the same progression over and over and over. Well, it's not. No, sorry. That's a lie. It's the same, like, the verses are all the same. The chorus is the same. And so what they do for this song is they actually modulate a bunch. And they do all the modulation early in the song, which is great. Because then once you get into that final key, you're set. So what I want to just kind of show you today, because we're going to start in the key of C, which is super easy. One thing that you can do if you haven't already discovered this is if you were to hold C, but instead of using your ring, I want you to use your pinky. And then I want you to take your index and I want you to pretend to bar just above the nut. Okay? So with this, it's going to look like this. Don't press, because that's not necessary, but just hold your C chord like that. Okay? And then I want you to hold your F chord, and this one usually feels the most awkward. Pretend you're barring and hold F using your ring in your middle. Again, you don't need to put pressure here on your index. And I'm trying to move my pinky out of the way. Then for G7, you don't have to keep this full bar smashed, but I do want you to have your index so that it's gently touching the G string. And your middle finger is going to stay, but your ring is going to hop over one string, and then you're going to add that pinky so that you've got this, okay? So what I'm doing here is he's only holding down that G string. I'm not worried about keeping him flat because this is the only string he's in charge of. So let's go through and do this again. You have C, and then let's go to our F chord, and then have only the G string and make your G7 chord, and let's go to the C chord. Now let's take this and just scoot it all up. Whoop! So make sure that you maintain 2 frets in between, because now your index is the new nut of your instrument. And you're going to play this chord where you are barring the first fret. And then, since the chart has a G7 next, let's play that G7 next. So make what looks like G7. Remember that this finger can just cover the G string only. Now bar and hold what looks like an F underneath that index. Now you have F sharp. Let's go back to the C, what looks like C. You're technically playing C sharp. If you scoot it up again, here we have a new D chord. If I was to switch to playing that A7, where I've got my index here on that one string, and I'm forming what looks like G7 under, and then I bar that, make sure I stay barred on the 2nd fret, and then make what looks like F under that bar. I'm now playing a closed G chord here. And I can keep doing this up the neck. Because I'm changing all of the notes at the same increment, the chord name the root of the chord changes. So that's something to keep in mind with this song when we switch to C sharp. That I still think of it as C in my mind, but my index is now a capo. So.
Or capo.
Or capo. Sorry. Derelict ukulele player here.
So funny.
The capo.
And I'm glad you guys are enjoying the bass too.
Yes.
This was a last minute decision actually to
Yes.
stick on bass actually for this, because it adds a lot, especially for a jam. Taking notes from ukulele and Milo, and just fantastic players, and
I love it.
yeah.
Now this song is a little fast, so if you're like doing the C sharp part and you're like, oh my gosh, don't worry. When you get to the chorus, you stick on like one chord for a long time, and also it goes by really fast, and then we're in D and we stay on D for a nice long time. So I like the capo question mark. Nice. Okay, I'm making sure I didn't miss anything. Okay, so let's just play C for a little bit. That'll be our intro. And let's see here. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. C. Yeah. Here we go. Well, I saw a thing coming out of the sky. It had one long horn and one big eye. Woo! I commenced to shaking and I said, ooh-wee. It looks like a purple people eater to me. It was a one-eyed, one-horned, fine purple people eater. One-eyed, one-horned, fine purple people eater. One-eyed, one-horned, fine purple people eater. Sure looks strange to me. One eye C sharp, picked him to earth and he laid in a tree. He said, Mr. Purple People Eater, don't eat me. I heard him say in a voice so gruff, I wouldn't eat you 'cause you're so tough. Oh, one-eyed, one-horned, fine purple people eater. One-eyed, one-horned, fine purple people eater. Eyed, one-horned, fine purple people eater. Sure looks strange to me. One horn? I said to purple people eater, what's your line? He said, eating purple people, and it sure is fine. But that's not the reason that I came to land. I want to get a job in a rock and roll band. Oh, bless my soul, rock and roll. Purple people eater, pigeon-toed, undergrowth, fine purple people eater. We wear short shorts, friendly little people eater. What a sight to see. soul, rock and roll. Little people eater, pigeon-toed, undergrown, flying purple people eater. I like short shorts. The little people eater, quite a sight to see. Purple people, well, he went on his way. And what do you know? I saw him last night on the TV show. He was on and knocking him dead and playing rock and roll music from the horn in his head. Woo! One-eyed, one-horn, flying purple people eater. Flying purple people eater. One-eyed, one-horn, flying purple people eater. Sure looks strange to me. I said, it sure looks strange to me. Last time I said, sure looks strange to me. Cha-cha-cha. Yes, I did skip the solo of the do-do-do-do-do-do-do. Yeah. Do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do. Sorry, I didn't do the purple people eater solo. It's a really fun song, though. But I like it because it's a great lesson in moving up the fretboard. And you could, if you wanted, continue that trend. If you wanted to move from D and go up to, D sharp / E flat, be my guest.
Yeah, that's a fun one.
I like it.
And
I like
the
that.
key change it does again.
Yeah.
I love when students ask, but why would you want to ever do a key change? And if in this case, like, it just helps.
It helps
that
build.
movement. It helps
Yeah.
build. It's like.
Yeah.
And it plays into you as you start to get higher in your singing register too. It's
Oh
just,
my God.
it just adds on.
We wear short shorts. And just think, the original key that the song in is D, and then it goes up to D sharp and then E. But I figured we'd start in C so that it wasn't as bad. And you guys noticed, I forgot to point out, I did actually have the first position D chords listed just in case you were like, I don't want to bar the whole time. That's also okay.
Yeah, I'm actually really excited to see what the Artist Work students have for the Halloween challenge.
I know.
I'm
We have a
super
Halloween
excited.
challenge for our students, and this year
Oh,
instead
I
of
missed the page. Oops.
oh
Yeah.
well.
That's all right.
Sorry, gang. That's the beauty of live, right? So one of the things that we're doing for our Artist Work students is we always do like fun little challenges. This year, instead of just like a dress up and play a Halloween spooky song, we actually are making people take a major song and put it in a minor key. So that's what we have for their challenge. And then if they want to dress up and be spooky, they can, but it's not required. So Adam's Family. This one's very iconic for people. This is the song everyone wants to learn to snap for, right? So for this one, what I did was I kind of have two parts laid out. We're going to be going through, and you'll notice that I have the chords listed at the top, and underneath it I have numbers to kind of give you where within the beat things fall. This song, that iconic riff, right? That iconic thing, what makes it so good is it actually starts with, it's actually got the pickup, and it's a triplet. And that's part of why you're like, oh, it sounds so good. And so what I want us to do right now is work on the timing. And so we're going to play it with chords. So if you aren't a picker, you'll be able to just go through and at least learn the timing of it. So what we're going to do is G7, C, A7, and D. Chords aren't too bad, so let's just go into it. So if I'm counting it, I'm going to play it through, and you can join me if you want. So I'm doing 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 1. And the blue indicates when you actually should have sound. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 1, 2, and a 3, 4, and a 1, 2, 3. Now, most of the time, this does actually repeat, and you don't do that last bar that we just did. But for the sake of the jam, we're actually only going to play through it once for our intro and once in the interlude, but we will do it twice for the ending. So let's do that one more time, starting from the G7. 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 1, 2, and a 3, 4, and a 1, 2, 3. Nice. Now for the lick, we'll just stay with the close-up. Let's go through that. I have it for high G where I'm utilizing that open G string because I like hearing these two notes ring. when I'm going through and playing the lick. If you play low G, that note's just here on your E string on the 3rd fret. Okay, so anytime there's an open G string, just play that. Okay, you can play single notes just like that. 4 and a 1, 2, 3 if you want, or we can utilize hammer-ons, which we've talked about in past live streams. So if I play my open A again, I'm literally hitting the string with my finger, bringing it down to make a sound happen. And same with this one. I don't have to hit an open string, but it does help to make those notes a little louder when I do that. The key to a good hammer-on is accuracy, making sure that you are exactly on the string. If you're slightly to the side of the string and you're not making that string actually hit this piece of metal, because that's what you're doing, is trying to make the string make contact with that piece of metal there, the fret, then you won't have a nice clean hammer-on. So let's try that again. Open A. Again. Let's add the open G. 2, 3 again. 2, 3. 4 and a 1, 2, 3. 4 and a 1, 2, 3. The next part of it. Did you have something, Craig? Or are you okay?
I'm okay.
Okay, it looked, you had a smile on your face. It made me think you had something you needed to say. Okay, so then the next part is open, 2, 4, 5. And I tend to use open, 1, the first finger, ring, and then pinky. Your pinky is going to be the weakest one for your hammer-on. So if you're having trouble getting a sound, don't worry, it takes some training, because that's kind of your weakest link. So 2. So let me do it slower. Oh, so that is 4 and a 1, 2, 3. 4 and a 1, 2, 3 again. 4 and a 1, 2, 3. 4 and a 1, 2, 3. Those are the 2 big patterns. So let's actually try the whole thing. Whew. 1, 2, 3. 4 and a 1, 2. Open A. 4 and a 1, 2, 3. 4 and a 1, 2 and a 3. 4 and a 1, 2, 3. And then we'll start the song. Okay? You may choose. You may play chords, or you may do all the hammer-on busyness. It matters not to me. Okay? Let's give it a try. And the only new chord in this, and I say new because it's new to the song, is we have a D minor in there. So, all right.
And because it's kind of short, yeah, the song.
It's a very short song.
Why don't we go slow once and
then we'll speed it up?
Yeah.
Sure. I love that. All right. I have to figure out how I'm going to turn this around. I'll figure it out. Okay. Here we go. And I'm going to... Should I strum? I'll do the lick. I won't strum the chords in the beginning. So 1, 2, 3. 4 and a 1, 2, 3. Open A. 1, 2, 3. 1 and a da, 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 da. Open G. G7. They're creepy and they're kooky, mysterious and spooky. They're all together ooky, the Addams Family. Their house is a museum, and people come to see 'em. They really are a scream, the Addams Family. Here's the lick. Oh, da, da, da. 2, 3. G7, here we go. So get a witch's shawl on, broomstick you can crawl. Sorry, we're gonna play a call on the Addams Family. The lick. Open A. 2, 3. Sorry. They're creepy and they're kooky, mysterious and spooky. They're all together hooky, the Addams Family. Their house is a museum, when people come to see 'em. They really are a scream, the Addams Family. Here we go. So get your witch's shawl on, a broomstick you can crawl on. We're gonna pay a call on the Addams Family. Let's do it again. Woo! Yes. So that would be what I would do for that one instead of the snapping, because I mean going, it's kind of hard making sure I stay in time. So what I did there was I did scratching, where I had the strings muted and I just did this to make it be that. So it sounds like I'm snapping. So
quick.
That was
quick
fun.
thing too. So, just for any of you who try and bass for the first time, or you bass or anything like that, one of the fun things about this kind of progression for that verse there is just kind of outlining the chord, which we talk about in some of our lessons too. But to kind of emphasize that root, we were kind of doing a half step, kind of like that Jaws thing, but. So it has that kind of creepy, crawly, inching feeling. And it's such a brilliant decision by the original arrangers and writers, and but those are the little things that add so much. It's a ton of fun. And I know if you guys are interested in taking bass lessons, contact Ukulele. Tell them Craig sent you. I think with that code, you'll get a free 45-second hug.
Oh my God.
So go find Ukulele, it's gonna be a ton of fun.
Our bassist Milo also does lessons as well, but he's actually
Milo
been
Fultz is
super busy. He's actually been super busy, and I don't know if he's actually accepting new students right now, but you could always contact him.
But he will be with us in March.
Yes, for our March retreat here in Hawaii.
That's gonna be a lot of fun.
Yes, we have our March retreat set for 2022. We have 2 different dates. It's the exact same program for both dates, but we had enough people interested, and we're limiting it to 40 people per session. So, because we want to keep the classes small. So that's going to be a lot of fun. It's about group play where we actually take songs. We're going to talk about counter melody, and it's beautiful. And Milo and Neil Chin will be our teachers.
Oh, Adrian is in the chat. Talk about good bass players.
Dude.
I don't even know if Adrian has even time to teach bass too. He's so busy.
He's such a busy guy.
Working on oh my gosh, incredible tech guy. He's been doing great things up in Canada. With trying to do live streaming live music from different locations without that lag and everything. And even though he's a Sony camera user, he's okay.
So bad. So our next song, I actually wrote in the notes that I call it a jam buster. We added this one just to have something that was really different, and a song that both Craig and I really, really, really love. But it is not really a good song to bring to your jam because it's got a lot of stuff going on. We also altered this song as well so that we took out one of the instrumental parts and stuff. So this isn't exactly like it. We also put it in a more friendly key. The original key for this song is the key of B, and then we put it in C. Okay. Now the main progression of this song is your C chord followed by a B flat 6 chord and an F. Now the C chord, I have the 1 and listed. The and is optional. You don't actually have to play that note. During the third beat, you'll see the 3, that's the B flat, and then the 4th beat is F. And you're only going to strum the B flat once and the F once. And it's kind of a quick change because the song is a little fast. So I'm going to play slowly and then ramp it up. So 1, 2, 3, 4, C, and 3 and 4, and C, and B flat and F, C, and B flat and F, C, B flat 6 and F, C, B flat 6 and F. And you can play B flat or B flat 6. I don't care which one you play. So 1, 2, 3, 4. C, B flat, F, C, and C, B flat and F, C, B. And then you have the da 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 da. Da 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 ya. Da 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 da. Right? Fun, yeah? I like this a lot. Now let's learn that riff that I just sang real fast. So what I did here was I did the tablature of it. And you'll notice if you read music, I did try to at least kind of show you a little bit of the timing, where you'll notice that the 3rd fret on your A string is 16th notes. Okay, and then you're going to reach up to the 7th fret and then go back down to the 3rd fret. Notice I did not remove my index, and go to the 5. So 7, 3, 5, and then 7, 3, 5. Then I take my pinky and I actually go to the 6th fret of my E string. Can we do a close-up of my hand for this? So I've got, again, this is the biggest stretch I'm going to have, 1 to 7. So I've got, and then 7, 3, 5, 6, and the 6th, this one is actually a dotted quarter note, if you're wanting to know how long it is, but just holds the rest of the measure. So I'm going to play just that first measure, and then I'm going to repeat it a bunch, and then we're going to speed it up. 1, 2, 3, 4. There's a rest. 2, 3, and we'll do it again. Rest. 4, 1, 2. We'll do it again. Rest. And we'll try one more time. Rest. Nice. Okay, the second measure is very similar, but you've got a lot of 16th notes. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, or you can do, if you want to do up picking with your thumb or multiple fingers, doesn't matter to me how you do it. So you have and then I'm going to use my pinky for the 6th fret of the E string, and then my ring on that 5th fret of the A string back to the 3rd. So this 3rd fret can actually, you can keep him down the whole time for both measures. So let's look at that second measure. We have a rest and rest again and rest. I've hit a wrong string. Rest and rest and rest. All right, let's put the whole thing together. 1, 2, 3, and 8th rest. 2, 3, and rest. 4, rest. I messed up on the last one. Sorry about that. You end up playing it twice. Let's do it one more time. We're going to repeat the whole 2 measures. 1, 2, 3, 4, rest. 4, rest. Again. 2, 3. Yeah! So that is what is being played over the C, and B flat and F, C, da 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 dee da da, and C, da 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 dee da da, and 1. Again. 4, 1. There you go. Okay, so there's that part. The next part is the I ain't afraid of no ghosts. We're going to have a C minor chord, which you strum once. And then on the 4th beat in that measure, it's tricky. You've got to go to that B flat 6. Okay, so it's 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So there is a measure of B flat 6, but we actually don't play it. That's why I have it highlighted. It's just supposed to continue. Then I have a 5th fret F7 listed if you want to play it. Okay, so I tend to use my middle finger. I know it doesn't look like I'm doing something very nice when I'm using it with the close-up, so that's why I have my index here, so it doesn't look like I'm saying something cruel. So I'm barring with the 5th fret, and then I'm holding the 6th fret on that first beat. But if you feel more comfortable just playing the F7 down here the whole time, you can. I'm just trying to mimic the movement in the song. 2, 3, 4. Then I moved it down to that F7. So let's try that again with C minor. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. I ain't afraid of no ghosts again. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, move it up to 1, 2, 3, 4. I ain't afraid of no ghosts. That's that part, okay? The next part is the shortened instrumental that we did, which we're gonna hold that C minor again. Each of these is a quarter note, so it's just one beat each. So I have C minor. I move my pinky up to the 6th fret of the A string, my ring to the 5th, and then I move my pinky over to the 6th fret of the E string. I held the C minor the whole time. You don't have to, but I'm doing 1, scratch, 2, 3, 4. For the scratch, remember, super light touch. I'm just making sure the strings don't vibrate and that I don't have any, none of that, just nice clean sound, okay? And I do that for 4 beats there. Then I'm back down to that B flat. This is quite a stretch. I'm going to reach up to the 5th fret. And again, you don't have to hold the chord if you don't want to. I tend to, but, and I hold it partially because I need that 1st fret note. 5, 1, 3, and then the scratches. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's our first ending. That's why there's a pink 1 there, and you'll see a slash. The slash is just showing you that I have a first ending and a second ending because we do repeat this. So let's do it like it's the first time. So hold your C minor, 1, and then 6, 5, 6, scratch, 2, 3, B flat, 5, 1, 3, scratch, 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 repeat C minor, 6, 5, 6, scratch, 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 and B flat, 5, 1, 3, F7, bustin' makes me feel good. Okay? Okay.
So again, this is being recorded
Yes.
and replayed after
Yes.
live. So again, we don't expect you guys to just be able to jam all these different parts right now.
No.
But it's we want to give incentive to again work on stuff, come back to it,
Yeah.
and have some fun with it. So no
Yes.
worries at all right
So
now.
as I said earlier, this is a jam buster. We're gonna have some missteps and stuff along the way with this one, but it's a fun song to kind of work on. And then if you have a group, you could always take this and practice it and get it up to snuff. But let's just try to make it through the song. So for this song, you can choose to play the riff or not. I'll play the riff, but I will get us kind of started with the chords, right? And then I'll try to call stuff out as we go as best I can. One thing to also keep in mind, though, is that when we move to the next page, right after the I Ain't Afraid of No Ghosts section at the very bottom of this page, we actually jump into the riff right away. So keep that in mind. On the next page, whoops, there it is. Yeah, yeah. It's up at the top because you jump into it one more time before we start Who You Gonna Call, okay? Whatever, we'll be fine. If you're playing chords, you just jump to C. You'll be just fine. All right, so I'm just gonna bring us in. Let's see here. 1, 2. Oh, actually, you know what? How about the? Because it has this like spooky do 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 do. 1, 2, 3, 4. Da-da-da-dee. And the C and B flat F. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3. All right. Let me do the riff. Let's see if I can do this fast. Oops. Here we go. If there's something strange in your neighborhood, who you gonna call? Ghostbusters! If there's something weird and it don't look good, oh, who you gonna call? Ghostbusters! Here comes C minor. F7 and down. I ain't afraid of no ghosts. C minor and B flat, and then you jump up to F7 and it's down, 'cause I ain't afraid of no ghosts. Back to the regular 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 3. Nice. Let's go back to singing. Here we go. If you're seeing things running through your head, who you gonna call? Ghostbusters! An invisible man sleeping in your bed, who you gonna call? Ghostbusters! Or it's C minor. F7, I ain't afraid of no ghosts. And I ain't afraid of no. Here we go. N. 1. Again. Here we go. N. Here we go. Who you gonna call? Ghostbusters! You're all alone. Pick up the phone and call Ghostbusters. If you've had a dose of a freaky ghost, you better call. Here we goes the weird C minor part. Here we go. And C. B flat. Again, one more time. 1, 2, 3, B flat. F7, here it is. Bustin' makes me feel C minor. F7, jump up and go down. It's F7, C minor. I ain't afraid of no ghosts. And C, B flat and F, C, B. Don't get caught all alone. No, no, you better call Ghostbusters when it comes through your door. Unless you just want some more, think you better call Ghostbusters. Think you better call Ghostbusters. Who you gonna call? Ghostbusters. Who you gonna call? Ghostbusters. One more time, louder. Ghostbusters. And softer. Ghostbusters. C. Nice. We made it through the Jam Buster. I know, right? It's a hard one, but it's really fun, and you can like elongate it and add like extra extra times when there's riffs and stuff. As I said, I think we cut out like I know we cut out the first part where he's like we cut out one of the first sort of instrumental parts that was that weird C minor area, but they played different riffs during that. So I hope you have a lot of fun with this. If you want to actually play along with the original, you do have to move it to the key of B. And then this actually should line up pretty well, except for that one spot. But it is a lot of fun, that whole, oh, and also, by the way, the, if you're wanting to actually play that, it's not too hard. It's on that, I couldn't do all of the parts myself. So you've got, what is that? 6 3 6 3 6 3 6 3 6 3, and then I do, sorry, 1 2 3. I ain't afraid of no ghosts.
And that's
right?
what makes this song so fun, because there's so many iconic parts. Right?
I know.
And that's why when we're practicing this morning, like having 2 ukes, it just didn't have that same feels. Like, okay, how much time do we have? We have 14 minutes. Let me see if I can figure out the bass line.
I know. So for this song, somebody asked,
gosh.
like, how much time did you practice this? So for me, I didn't practice it a lot, but I spent a lot of time arranging and listening to this. I also spent a lot of time arranging and listening to Thriller as well, but in the end, we did decide that one was going to be too hard, and that's like a workshop in and of itself. And I put that one in the key of C minor, though the original is in C sharp minor. So who knows? Maybe we'll do Thriller one day, because I actually have it all sorted out, because I took the time and figured out the whole song. But we just decided that it wouldn't really work well for a jam setting, because there's a lot more to teach than even Ghostbusters.
I should have Adrian over and give me some bass lessons, and I can convince him to switch back to Canon.
Ah!
All right, now We have one more song in our
Yeah,
jam.
our last song of the jam.
And I have to refill coffee. So in the meantime, I'm going to play that special announcement that we had right before we started the stream.
Yes.
One more time. And I'm going to get more coffee and I'll go back to Sarah, I think, after it's done. And thank you guys again for joining us today. If you do want to help donate to these live streams, the link is below. But don't forget the free packet is there.
It's
Little
totally
things that
free.
you can do to help to subscribe, put that thumbs up. That does help the YouTube stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't really whatever. But we'll play that little clip real quick and I'll be right back. Thank you guys again.
Aloha, I'm Sarah Maisel, and Craig Chi and I have been live streaming for several years. One of the questions that we frequently get asked are, when will you start a concert series? Well, the time has come, and we are thrilled to invite you to our backyard to enjoy hearing some of the most amazing musicians and friends right in our backyard. Our backyard concert series is one that we are truly excited about, and our very first one is going to be with Herb Ota Jr. Now, this inaugural concert is going to be a fundraiser to allow us to get this series off of the ground. Something that is very near and dear to Craig and I's hearts is ensuring that everybody gets a chance to hear this amazing music. And because of this, we are trying to make it so that all of the rest of the concerts are going to be free to the public, with some add-ons that you can always purchase if you would like to support the artists as well as the series. We would like to say a huge thank you to Lele Music Productions, Artist Works, and our dear friends at the Ukulele site for helping us make this very first concert possible. But I'm not afraid, this road was crossed over. We hope you enjoy this series, and we look forward to sharing even more amazing artists with you. I can't help falling in love with you.
Take away her.
Of course, Diane would notice the birds in the background. That's so funny. Yes, and that's our backyard. And there's also a stream. You might also hear the stream too, because it's so gorgeous. There's the wall that's behind us is actually there's a stream like literally right on the other side of that wall. So it's gorgeous. So we're really looking forward to being able to share this concert with you guys. The series is going to be great. We're already have Kale Gamyao and Corey Fujimoto lined up for the next one, and we have more special announcements later down the line as well. For that series, so we're super excited.
And next week during our normal time here, and I love that we have first time people coming and checking out our live stream today. Thank you guys so much for joining us. Next week we do have the incredible, again, celebrating Herb Ota Jr.
The month
month.
of Herb Ota Jr. Yes.
We will be using the song Something, and it's going to be fantastic. And he's going to do a chord melody arrangement with that as well. Of course, the diaper package, which is the extra bonus package, will have not only the playback tracks and videos to follow along with, but also a chance to get
his award-winning album.
Where there's going to be a
Nahoku
chance
Hano
to
Hano.
get. Oops. Let's do this.
Hi.
His new award-winning album, double disc CD. He's going to have a very special deal for us that will go live in a few days with some of those higher packages that you can grab, but it's going to be fantastic. We're super excited as always to host him. This is going to be a lot of fun, but
nice.
Hope to see you guys there. I'm going to turn it back to Sarah. We have one last song for you guys.
Yes,
and thank you to Carol P, by the way, always in the chat helping us out.
Yes.
Doing great work.
Thank you.
And we are excited to see that a lot of you are going to be joining us in March. There is just a few spots
There's only a
left,
few spots
I think.
left, actually. So
Yeah, that's going to be fun. That's going to be a lot of fun.
And I also wanted to answer a quick question that was asked in the chat right before we went to show you guys about our concert, which is how many times is listening to the song, like how many times did you listen to the song? And he asked like 20. And honestly, I'm not sure the exact amount, but I would say it's probably well over 50. Like it was a lot, and it was a lot of listening to certain sections over and over again, as opposed to just listening to the whole song. So lots of listening in order to be able to get the specific notes, and also to double check and make sure the chords are right. And I learned the song originally in the key of B and then switched it to C. So that was fun too.
And the artist work special tomorrow with Herb. He's going to go over low G stuff, but you're going to be able to apply it to high G. But because most of the curriculum is centered around high G, we thought it'd be nice for him to focus a little bit more on low G. But he's going to be going through things besides just string related stuff as well in that sense. Yeah, so it's going to be fantastic.
Artist work students, that session will be recorded, so if you cannot join us live via Zoom for that, we will have the recording and it'll be available in the forums for you to watch later.
Yes, and thank you for all of you fantastic ukulele players that joined us today as well. You guys help inspire us so much as well, so thank you guys for coming out and supporting, and thank you guys for again keeping these live streams going. It's been a ton of fun, and this one we just wanted to do a fun jam, a little different than our normal workshop thing. And we're having
we still
blast,
taught you anyway. We can't help ourselves.
We like to trick you guys.
Yes. So let's do Love Potion number 9. I've always loved this song. It cracks me up, and it's just a ton of fun. So let's give it a shot. And at the very end, we're going to go in between D minor and A minor. I'll call it out, but I didn't write out an ending because I wasn't sure what I wanted to do yet when I made the packets.
Oh, you're teaching the slide.
No, I'm not doing that. Remember, I had decided to not make this one a lesson. I wanted our last song of the jam to just be just play it, because I knew that Ghostbusters was before it, and that people would be like, my brain, it's fried.
Okay.
Okay.
And again, we are live, so that's,
yes.
As much as we like making videos and everything, the live component is so much more fun for us.
Yeah.
And Diane will get a kick out of this too. And again, it's nice to not have to spend a ton of time editing things afterwards too. So and we get to interact with you guys. So thank you guys again for joining us live today. I hope you guys have a wonderful and safe Halloween.
Nice. There we go. A minor, D minor, A minor, D minor. Here we go. I'm gonna get to singing the song, I promise. Here it is. I took my troubles down to Madame Ruth. You know that gypsy with the gold cap too. She got a pad down on 34th and Vine, selling little bottles of Love Potion number 9. I told her that I was a flop with chicks. I've been this way since 1956. She took my palm and she made a magic sign. Said what you need is Love Potion number 9. I love the chorus. She bent down and turned around and gave me a wink. She said, I'm gonna make it up right here in the sink. It smelled like turpentine, it looked like Indian ink. I held my nose, I closed my eyes, I took a drink. I didn't know if it was D minor. I started kissing everything inside. But when I kissed a cop down on 34th and Vine, it broke my little bottle of Love Potion number 9. Now let's stay on A minor for a little bit. Stay on A minor, because I'm noticing at the top of your page, you're going to see B flat 7 is written. And you'll notice in the box that a B7 is written. That's a typo. It should be a B7. So that B flat 7 at the top, move it up a half step so that you're barring the 2nd fret instead, because you're going to say, woo, that B flat 7 sounds terrible where it says B7, because it should be B7, okay? Let's start from the top again, just because I want to make sure that we get it. So can we go back up to the other page, Craig? So remember, it's a B7 now. Sounding good. Here we go. I took my troubles down to Madame Ruth. You know that gypsy with the gold cap tooth. She's got a pad down on 34th and Vine, selling little bottles of the potion number 9. I told her that I was a flop with chicks. I've been that way since 1956. She looked at my palm and she made a magic sign. Said, what you need is the potion number 9. We're in the box now. She bent down and turned around and gave me a wink. B7. Said, I'm gonna second fret right here in the sink. D minor. Smelled like turpentine. It looked like India ink. E7. Held my eye, nose and closed my eyes. I took a drink and I didn't know if it was day or night. I started kissing everything inside. But when I kissed a cop down on 34th and Vine, he broke my little bottle of love potion number 9. We're gonna do that chorus again. She bent down and turned around and gave me a wink. Second fret. I'm gonna make it up right here in the sink. It smelled like turpentine. It looked like India ink. I held my nose, I closed my eyes, I took a drink. I didn't know if it was day or night. I started kissing everything inside. But when I kissed a cop down on 34th and Vine, broke my little bottle of love potion number 9. D minor. Love potion A minor. D minor. Love potion A minor. D minor slow. Love potion number A minor. Yeah, we made it! Even with the little, my wrong chord written at the top. But yeah, so just correct that. It is a B7, so move that chord up to the second fret, or just write a 2 next to it and scratch out the flat. But thank you guys so much for just a really fun and fantastic jam. This was a ton of fun today, and we're so glad that we got to have some fun Halloween time together. Thank you guys so much. We hope that you can take some of these songs and share them with your clubs and groups, so that if you do get to meet up, whether it's Zoom or in person for Halloween, you've got some potentially new songs that you can bring. So thank you guys so much.
Thank you, Diane, for noticing my quick clicky.
Yes, we did something new today where I wasn't the one
gosh.
scrolling
Yes,
through.
I need to get one of those foot switches.
Oh my gosh, yes. And I, of course, had my own that I was looking at just to make sure, though. It didn't help me much always for the lyrics, but it was still a lot of fun. That's the fun of live, right?
And let's see if I can pull this up within 45 seconds, because I feel bad that we haven't had Cam on camera.
I know Cam has been hanging out with his grandparents, and they go for walks and stuff, and they actually just leave the house. So, but Cameron's doing great. I'm sorry that we don't have a cam going right now, but thank you guys so much for joining us. It's just such a blast.
Oh, let me see if I can pull this really quick.
Oh yes, Cam, his first real beach day.
Yes, so
There he is.
He is. It's crazy how quick this phase went.
Mm-hmm.
From baby to like whatever
Yes.
the toddler phase,
Yeah.
I guess. But it's been amazing.
Toddler's a blast.
And again, this is
love
where
it.
like a lot of the diaper package stuff goes to help him out and free up time to spend with him. So we can't thank you guys enough
Yes.
for your support through all of this. You guys are incredible. So
Yeah. Thank you guys so much for joining us today. It's been just an absolute blast to be with you guys. Enjoy and happy Halloween,
Yes,
everybody.
happy
We'll see you
Halloween.
guys next week for Herb's Workshop, October 23rd. We're going to learn the song Something.
awesome. Thank you guys. Aloha.
Aloha.